Okay, it's 7 o'clock. We're going to start meeting order. First, the Pledge of the United States of America.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome everybody. All right. The first is the consent agenda. We have members of the Richmond Fire Department here with the search dog.
So I make a motion to add the Richmond Fire Department under new business A, and just move everything else down.
All right.
That way, if you guys need to meet.
Thank you. Okay. Any other questions, comments?
No? I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda and the addition to new business.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the consent agenda with the one Richmond Fire Department search dog added. And we have support for that. Any questions? Roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Dan, yes.
Kaczynski, yes.
Stevens, yes.
Stover, yes.
Okay, motion carries. Okay, we have the citizens' comments up first. Mind you, we also have it at the bottom, so if you could wait for them, because we do have 3 guest speakers and we'd like to get them out of here in a timely fashion. Okay. All right. Okay. The next one is legal update. Okay, I talked to our attorney and we're going to be serving the notice of the violation notice to Mr. Jamel at the address we have sent certified letters to in Sterling Heights. We're hoping to send to a business address, but these individuals don't have none. The only record we have of people, them accepting information, letters from us is this address in Sterling Heights. So, the second one is I asked Chris to set up a meeting between me, us and sign fabricators just to come up with a plan on what can we do to get the sign fixed. Personally, I think they're having problems with their the firm that does electronics to the sign. It's very frustrating to deal with individuals. The last one, as of today, we have not been contacted by Hyper Law concerning the network computer issue.
I have a question
yes.
on, I'm going to go back to Tommy's.
Yes.
When is she going to do this? It says she's going to do it. She's doing it right away?
Yeah. I told her to go ahead and serve out the summons.
Okay. And then for network computers, how long are we waiting? I mean,
Their attorney, Dave Hyper, is supposed to get with us.
I understand it, but this has been going on for how long? And are we just supposed to keep waiting and
Yeah, I'll re-engage with them to find out.
re-engage with Chris, not them?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. That's all. I looked into the MPA Legal Defense Fund, and what that is for, it's a fund set up to defend townships on broad township matters like annexation, about solar and stuff like that. I'm glad we're contributed because I guess at one time when we're facing annexation issues, we're a recipient of those. So I mean, it seems like every township should do that, to be a member of that. But I'll follow up with Chris tomorrow on those.
And then follow up with the sign too, how long are we supposed to wait and what's our next step? Because, you know, we paid
And
for the
is there
sign,
like a
it's not.
statute of limitations?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, like I said, we figure that, sign fabricators and their electronics, they have a fault.
That's not our problem.
Yeah, I know
We
it's
signed a
not.
contract with sign fabricators, not the other ones. They need to make it right then, hire somebody else, you know.
Right, gotcha. Okay. Any other question for our legal business? Okay, new business, Richmond Fire Department search dog. Yeah, you wanna?
Yeah. First of all, thank you for putting us on the agenda. I've become surprised to surprise you, but it was timing worked out good.
Yeah, no,
Trade and
that's
stuff.
fine.
So apologize for not letting you know in advance.
No, we don't know.
I'm Rob Randall, Assistant Fire Chief. This is Nick Yelnich. He's our lieutenant. He's also Ace's handler, along with his son Gavin. They're the handlers. What we want to introduce you tonight is our newest member of the fire department.
Bring them out front so,
You want to walk down on the camera? His name's Axe, 9-month-old lab that we got from a gentleman up in the Holston area who's a breeder of labs. Axe is going to be trained and has been training since March and is going to be certified. Well, actually the handlers will be certified. Axe will not be the certified dog due to some legal liability stuff. He's going to be used for any type of search and rescue on any missing person or injured person that had wandered off that they cannot find. He's being trained by a retired Macomb Sheriff Deputy, Cliff Morgan, who's local to us, and he's not going to be doing any type of police work, any type of criminal activity type tracking or anything like that, just because our scope in the fire department is more with the search and rescue of injured or missing persons. So they've been, like I said, they started in March training. Nick and Gavin, they train 3 to 4 times a week in various spots within the community, if you've maybe seen them around. And I think that's about the scope of what's going on so far. On Nick, you want to come up and say a few words about your training real quick?
Our training right now consists of tracking and area searches, mainly, like he said, medical-based, missing persons, wandered out elderly, something along those lines. So a lot of the beginning training was obedience, obviously, and then we worked into tracking and area searches. That's what we're primarily focusing on right now. Obedience is ongoing. He still is a puppy. Like, sit, exit, stay.
Nice job.
So it's ongoing. Our training should end the end of this month, beginning of the next, and we'll put him in service. Like I did say, he is a puppy. So for the next year or so, he's still going to be learning, and so are we. But we will probably have him in service for sure.
So what we've been doing is our members of our department have been helping Nick and Gavin search. We'll go to a certain area, we'll send our guys out, into a wooded area and hide. And being he is scent trained, he'll smell an article of the clothing of our member, and he'll pick up on that scent and draw us there. That way, especially out here in Casco and Columbus, not so much in the city, but out here in the rural areas, it's so vast and there's so many places to hide that he'll be able to hopefully minimize that time looking for them and have maybe sometimes a better outcome than what we've had in the past looking for missing persons. Obviously, we're going to be mutual aid, all of St. Clair County. I know you were talking a little bit before under our Fire Department Mutual Aid Act. It's not just going to be for our Richmond Fire Service area, which includes you guys, but it's going to be for all St. Clair County. If another department needs us, Nick and Gavin, they will travel to go help that community. And the best part is with Axe, he's funded 100% by our own firefighters. There are no city funds used to purchase a dog or any of the equipment that Axis or Gavin or Nick have needed. It's all been by donations, and we're going to continue that. So there's no encumbered funds that the city has taken on, or you guys as a contracted with us. There's none of those funds within budgeted money have used. It's all been done by donations and our private funds within our department. So we're real proud of that fact. Like I said, he is Nick's roommate. He lives with Nick and Gavin, so he takes them home every night. He doesn't stay at the fire station or anything like that. So they become good roommates and friends, and he is a good dog. So we're pretty excited for this, and it's, if we can help out, you know, that one missing person or that one missing child that wandered away, everything we've done has been worth it. He's sponsored also by our local Tractor Supply. They supply all its foods and any other equipment, whether it's harnesses or leashes or cages. They do that, and our local veterinary care behind the family farm off 31 Mile. They are free and clear of us taking care of all the veterinary needs for us. So we were really fortunate with that. So.
Well, we need him.
Yes.
Yeah,
If you
so,
need a training area at all, I have 40 acres, standing woods, trails, and water. So if you need a good training.
we've done all of those, woods, water, everything.
Yeah,
Gone through
everything
all
you
of them.
need.
So he's done a really good job. So we're pretty excited to add this. And us as a department, we can't appreciate Nick and Gavin more for taking on this added responsibility. And like with our department volunteers, they volunteered to do it. It's just another tool for us to help out the community.
Yeah. When I was
Thank you
young,
for coming.
I had my youngest brother would wander off from time to time, and I remember the panic that.
Yeah, so this is where we're hoping the time, you know, or you get an accident victim that's disoriented and wanders away from that scene, we'll be able to find them a little bit quicker than some of the techniques that we've used today. So we're just happy to offer this to our service area that we cover and also the county as a whole. So, but thank you again for having us.
Okay,
And we'll get him out of here so he don't disturb the rest of the meeting.
Oh, he's welcome anytime.
We'll see about it.
Thank
He can come here anytime.
Take care, guys.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, all right then. Next, we have Captain Poole from the St. Clair County Sheriff's Department.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor.
All right, welcome back. Kurt and I
Worked
posted
on a
him
few
about a
things,
month
yeah.
ago, that was the Trustees. So,
Tough act to follow the dog, but I'm here on behalf of the sheriff to go over our annual report. Just briefly highlight some things we've been working on at the sheriff's office, maybe some of the services that we have and how those affect the citizens of Casco Township. So I'm going to get up. So this is our annual report. This is the first one that we've actually published like this. So I'll just talk about a few things while you guys look at it. Anybody else?
Thank you.
If anybody would like, I don't know if anybody would like to see this. Good. Another one?
we got a picture of the dog in front of us.
You're welcome. So this kind of highlights last calendar year, breaks down different divisions within the sheriff's office. You'll notice it does pay particular attention to some of our contracted townships. And notwithstanding, those resources that we have are offered to everybody throughout the county. And just to kind of highlight some of those, obviously we have the jail side of our agency and the road patrol side of the agency. We also offer a marine patrol and dive team, and then underneath the road patrol side, as far as law enforcement divisions, detective bureau, drug task force, which is approximately 18-member team that not only is members of the sheriff's office, but Marysville Police Department, Clay Township Police Department, Oregon Police Department, Customs and Border Protection, and U.S. Border Patrol. And that's one of the largest in Southeast Michigan as far as those teams go. We have one of the best accident reconstruction teams in Southeast Michigan. We also have our canine who's not only certified in the tracking like that dog will be, but also drug detection and bite work. So yeah, and these things, like I mentioned, it's not restricted to contracted townships, like Mr. Stevens and I have talked about, about certain things we've tried to work through with Casco to help you. And just only 2 to 3 weeks ago, we had a pretty significant incident at the Americana Trailer Park. I'm sure everybody's kind of familiar with that. We're helping out East Point Police Department, who had a drive-by shooting. We located the suspects, rather quickly there. We were able to offer our assistance with our special response team and our armored vehicles and detectives and those members that surround the house, get that to a peaceful resolve, and both those individuals are in custody. So, we're here to help the best we can. And it's pretty much the brief overview. Had a couple other things I was going to hand out. We just we produced a sheriff's app for the mobile app, which is really going to help people as far as like, if you want to look up inmates or put money in the commissary or see what their bond is or why, even if you hear like, hey, why is a certain individual in jail? We spend a lot of time with our front office fielding phone calls and directing phone calls like any other government agency. And this is going to be a streamlined app that we have in supplement. So a few of these out for you guys if you want to take a look at that and feel free to download. So, it has archived all the press releases and kind of mess around with it. Let's see what that is. And that's really all I have. Do you have to answer any questions if anybody has anything?
Yeah, careful when somebody, you often hear talk about sheriff's department versus state police. When someone calls 911, let's here in the township, they're going to send the first available car, whether it's a sheriff's department or a state police.
Yeah, so closest car dispatching concept, especially for this community. Like sometimes, we have contracted townships that would differ, but we also are physically within that township all the time patrolling.
Right.
But when it comes to emergency calls, when it goes through central dispatch, it doesn't matter who it is. And they also have vehicle mapping to assist them to look at cars where they're at when they send cars to the calls.
Yeah, because I've had a couple accidents in front of I live on Sacred Highway. You guys were there, say with the sheriff's department before EMS or the fire department in both those cases.
And sometimes it's just the luck of the draw of where that car is at that time. And it's no different with the state police or us. We're all kind of struggling with staffing issues. And so I know their area of response is kind of been restricted. And so that may affect times of responding to calls. So sure, our patrols are kind of affected as well. Next week we have 4-H fairs, so we're going to be heavily patrolling that. So we avoid any incidents that they saw at a couple other fairs locally and throughout the state. And get through Porter Hills Boat Night next weekend as well. And then kind of going on the tail end of our summer involvement with special events. We just had Crickle Fest last week. And we'll have a couple other local parades in there.
We also want to have a presence at the 8-year Sucker Fest.
Oh, yes.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for Kevin?
No, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I'll leave some of this stuff right over here in case anybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next member is Mr. Bill Hazelton, Managing Director of St. Clair County Road Commission. Last month, as you know, we had Bob Wiley, the Drain Commissioner, dispelling some of the rumors or misinformation here in the township concerning drainage. Well, in hand with the Drain Commission is the Road Commission because they maintain the roads and the ditches which lead to the drains. And Bill, could you give us a little overview on okay, the purpose of the road ditch and what the primary purpose that are.
Okay, so yeah, so road, I mean, the road ditches are there for the roads, right? And subsequent values a lot of times is property, right? So if your property next door drains to the ditch, you don't block that, and it goes to a drain eventually, right? So the primary function of a road ditch is for the road, to keep it dry, keep the roadbed dry. And a lot of times property owners, their property drains in the ditch. We don't block that. So it is a road ditch, it's for roads, but they are also used for homeowners. You know, they build a house, mount it up, it drains to the road. The farmer has a field, he tiles it, it drains to the ditch. We're not gonna stop that. So anything gravity-wise that wants to go to the roadside ditch, you know, we generally accept.
Okay, I know from time to time, okay, we do clean ditches. I mean, like, we did a couple of miles, about 2.5 miles of B3 road. We're doing some on Springborn Road. Plus, depending on how much the money holds out, a few other places here in the township. But what is the homeowner's responsibility in maintaining the ditches?
Well, they can't block them. A lot of people like to put leaves in a ditch and just block them off. They can't do that, you know. So anytime you do work in a ditch, you're supposed to get a permit from us. So, you know, there's side slope requirements. So as far as the homeowner's requirements for a ditch, there isn't a whole lot of requirements. I guess if they want to dig one, they should contact us about make sure it's the right width, it's the right distance, and the slopes are right.
Okay. I thought only the road commission could actually dredge the ditches.
A homeowner can get a permit to work in the right of way and do his own ditching.
Okay.
We'll want to work on the develop a plan that meets the requirements.
I see.
So if someone came in and says, listen, can you ditch this road? We said, listen, we're all full of work, you know, and it has no value to the road. Well, it has some value to them as well. They'll still drain. We're not going to say no, but there'll be a plan developed with them to make sure that they're not making a hazard situation. It'll be them ditch straight up and down, and next car comes off the road, and we're liable on the homeowner.
I see.
It's the road's in our right of way.
I
So,
see. But it's for a homeowner though to cut the ditch, keep the foliage out, just helps facilitates the drains.
yeah, we have limited resources. We'll cut primary roads twice a year,
Right.
and a lot of times it's not enough.
Yeah.
But we're not grass cutters. We maintain roads, so twice a year, someone wants to cut the grass, helps us out a little bit. I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah. Now the road commission, if a resident wants the road commission to ditch, to clean their ditches and that, they'd be willing, like, if a homeowner is willing to, let's say, pay half, that's permissible, is that correct?
Yes and no. I guess there's primary and local, right? Local roads is ones that township funds a majority of ditching work, right? We have some small programs that we share funding with.
Yeah.
Primary roads, generally, we just do the work ourselves in front of the list, and we get to them,
Well, I guess if let's say I have a ditch in front of my house, I want it ditched out, and I say, hey, I'm willing to pay half of it as a homeowner, match the fund with the road commission, get that cleaned out for my house. That's something that can be arranged?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
And generally that helps us out, so we'll try and move it up a little bit. If we see a benefit to it, we'll try and move it up the list, because the homeowner is investing in it.
Yeah, because we, people who say, well, I pay taxes for it, it should be clean, but I tell them, you gotta look at your tax bill, you know, your biggest hunk, but correct me if I'm wrong, Kelly, is usually the school district, followed by the county operations, and then the township.
Yeah, we have a quarter millage for roads, you know, and we try to use that money to match federally that we get with the county.
Right.
I think it brings in about $1.4 million a year for us.
In our match grant that we used for the last 2 years, we've used on a lot for ditching. We used ditching on Springboard. Last year we did some on Beefy there.
It's a great program. You work with a foreman, develop basically a list that you want to tackle. Say there's $50,000. Say, listen, get through as much as you can. Here's my priority A through Z, and we'll do what we can. Some roads are cheaper to ditch. You have a homeowner or a property owner has a field there and he wants to throw dirt in the field. We can save ourselves a lot of money by not having to haul stuff off. So, you know, the price per mile changes a little bit every day.
Right.
Depends on where you're at. There's a lot of culverts there to replace them. So
I was just talking with Mike today. we're formulating our plan after he's done there on Springwater Road. But, you know, people sometimes, I get calls a lot when you're gonna do my ditch, when you're doing my ditch. I said, well, the road commission crew, they just don't have one township, but they have 5 townships here in their district, so, you know, and all of them are flat, and all of them had drainage issues.
they all do. So, yeah, we have a crew, they do what they can. I think it's been, you know, a couple days last week, a couple days this week, we've been in township ditching, but it's gonna rain this week, and, I'm gonna ditching for a week, maybe go cut the grass for some
Yeah,
it's too wet.
So I've noticed that difference between the roads in Macomb Township, Macomb County, and over here is quite different. Our roads have been phenomenal compared to cross-county line, shaken to death. I don't know what is that's attributable, but it's much to you guys' credit.
Well, I mean,
It's much better over here.
I mean, we have a gravel dock that we own, and we get really good prices out of, you know, that kind of leases it from us, so that helps. You know, they don't have a dock, but we do, so we get.
And the millage helps.
The millage helps a little bit, yeah.
And let's hope that continues.
Yeah, and the renewal's up in August, balance, so.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's why I said that.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that it's really important.
Yeah.
That millage.
Yeah. Yeah, and what's recently came through is those ARPA funds have come through, and that's helped out a lot of townships.
Yeah, so we have that, we'll, you know, I'll discuss that with the board next month on what we want to do.
It's really good to see the roads in such good shape.
Yeah.
This year's, I mean, in normal years, we get so many dust events, it's like crazy. This year, I think we had 2 or 3. But yeah, great, I mean, for rain, it's been great for the road, because it rains every 3-4 days, and it keeps the dust down, and everyone's happy.
Yeah.
Farmers aren't that happy because the fields are wet, but.
Well, yeah, when they pour the chloride, they hope they have a few dry days to lock that in
Yeah.
before it rains, you don't want to wash it away, because that stuff is expensive. So, okay, does anyone have any questions? Mr. Hazelton? Hey, oh, Mr. Simons, I'm sorry.
Yes, you made a statement that you mow the ditches in the township once a year, correct?
On locals, once a year, if the township asks for more cuttings, it works on a contract basis.
Okay. Because a lot of the roads around here do not get touched as far as the ditches.
Well,
They mow the shoulders.
yeah, we do one pass generally. If communities want more done, we work with them to do more. So yeah, we will do like 1 6 to 8 foot pass along a road. That's really all we can do.
Because we have trees growing in ditches and stuff like
Yes.
that.
Well, that's not a mower. The problem is our mowers won't cut through those. We
Yeah,
get
exactly.
special boom X vehicles that'll cut through things that are 4 inches or smaller.
Yeah,
But it's quite expensive.
Yeah.
To mow 6 foot along a road to create a more sight distance issue for people who want to pull on driveways is great. To mow back a ditch everywhere, we wouldn't have enough people to keep up with that. So,
Yeah, you know, it's just, we have, more and more, we have, houses are built, they're being built in locations where houses were were low. And a lot of people want their properties drained, but, you know, it's just, what you just said, what I tell them too, is, you know, it's the road ditch. Roads.
yeah. If
If
it actually
it's
goes there, we'll accept it, but, yeah.
Yeah. Now, is there, do you know if there's like safety grants out there, like down there on Palms Road, right by the Bell River Bridge? I know that was redecked using federal funds a couple of years ago, but they only allowed the guardrails to go a certain extent. To get further guardrails or that, are there safety
Well,
grants?
that one was a little bit unique. It was under a special bridge bundling program. So they actually, the whole way that bridge was set up to be funded is it had to go back the way it was. So generally, if we design a bridge, our standards are, federal highway standards are different, you know, we have to follow these rules. Well, that was state money and they set it up that what was there had to be replaced as is. So was it like normal like we would have done? Probably not.
Yeah.
But state funded it and paid for 100% of it, so we really didn't have much of a state.
Yeah, I
Yes.
was wondering if there's like any kind of grants out there we get funds to put guardrails, because that drops off.
Yeah, but generally how those grants work for safety is they fix a perceived problem. So you see a lot of people running off the road, maybe because it's too windy in the area, they'll help pay for a ditch or ditch moving out or shoulder paving or rumble strips. So like Beefy Road intersection, that was a safety project because of a lot of accidents there. A lot of rear end accidents, people trying to turn left there. So safety funds were used, were granted for that project.
The center turn lane there.
Yep, exactly. So the city funds are there to fix a problem once it's there. We can't forecast problems, generally don't fund things, they, oh, it's gonna be a problem, they generally don't fund that.
Okay.
If there is a pattern of accidents, they'll look into funding that, so. So every year we look at countywide for projects that qualify.
Now, the Gratiot rebuild, when is that gonna start?
Not sure yet, so working with the contractor to get a start date, but we wanted it done before school starts, because it's gonna be one-way traffic for I think 25, 30 days.
Now, the one way is only northbound, is that correct?
Correct, only northbound. So our thinking on that was, during construction, the road isn't gonna be 100% built yet, so southbound, wouldn't run southbound, a lot of garbage trucks. So we felt like a half-built road, in a construction zone that's kind of narrow, garbage trucks running full, we didn't want that, so we felt, and plus put signage for people going from the other direction, it was pretty difficult. There was so many roads that go in there just south of Richmond there, it's just, there's so many 31-mile road, Main Street, we
Yeah.
thought maintaining northbound would be easier.
Okay, okay. And the Palms Road, Marine City Highway roundabout, that is delayed until next year, is that correct?
Yeah, we got a little delay in that one. One of the property owners is dealing with them in court right now, about the easement, so.
I see.
3 or 4 easements are secured, the last one's taking some time, so it's not hold for now.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you
very,
very
very
much.
good there.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Next on the agenda is our, is the Nickel and Sap annual renewal premium. And we have some questions. You guys have noticed it's gone up about 10%.
$1,220 is what it's gone up. My only question, and Jennifer and I just talked about it, was are we double dipping, or can we get a little bit better price on
The
cyber
and
attacks?
data.
Just because we have high tech and these people, are we overinsured?
Okay.
I'm wondering if we should talk to Jay, our high tech, and see if these limits are okay, are they too much, not enough? Because we have high tech now and we have better security
Yeah.
as far as like protecting us from another hacking.
Yeah.
I wonder if we need 250,000
Okay.
for each, because there's 250,000 for data compromise and 250,000 for cyber attack and cyber extortion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's, if you look at the premium from this year to last year,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't go up a lot, but if that's something we can cut in half, it's almost 3,000 between the two of them.
Okay.
So if that's something that we could cut down, I mean, if we need it, we need it.
Okay. Is, can you arrange something to change tomorrow?
I can call them and talk
Because
to
if
them.
we get, Steve's on vacation right now, Steve Sapp, but his, that Michelle is there.
Well, the only thing, this should have actually been on last month's agenda because our coverage is through
Yeah, I
7/1.
talked-
7/1.
Yeah, I talked to Steve about that. He says, no, we're still covered. But this is better.
But that was my own, there's not a lot of wiggle room in these, you know?
Now,
We need the coverage.
Yes.
We'll have to, and as you say, we don't know yet what the coverage will be on the new edition.
right.
Yes, and I actually made a copy of a memo that was sent to us from February. And it said just a quick follow-up regarding a recent phone call regarding the planned addition. Before you start construction, I'll need to know the construction start date and anticipated completion date, square footage to be added, type of roof, roof pitch, roof covering, any plumbing fixtures, number of stories, slab, crawl space, or basement, and the contract amount.
Yeah, I believe Kurt found that information too.
Okay, well, make sure.
I'll check, absolutely.
And then I guess we need to find out how much that is gonna cost, because when it comes time to do the budget for next year,
Yeah.
and hopefully you will be doing that, or whoever, hopefully the clerk's office will not be doing that.
But,
Just saying.
so, on here, can we approve this with just our usual coverage, but there's just one big package there along with the cyber?
I mean, the cyber and the data are separated
Okay.
on the line item, so I don't see why, if you guys are all right with everything else on there, why we couldn't approve that pending finding out about the other two.
Okay, I agree. Let's,
Because if we're still covered, we're paid from last
We're
year,
paid
so.
from that.
right, we need coverage regardless.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Yeah. Okay, does anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the Nickel and Sap annual renewal premium with the data compromise and cyber. I think it's just called cyber coverage to be determined on those two items, but to approve the rest of it. Does that sound good?
Support.
Okay.
Yeah.
The amount of those two items, how much does that increase your,
It didn't increase, the data compromise didn't go up at all. The cyber went up $60, but between the two of them, it's almost $3,000. So like I said, if we can talk to high tech and find out, okay, we don't need the 250 for each, 150 is fine, or he might say, no, you should just do the 250.
Yeah.
And you might, so that's.
Right.
It's just something to check into because,
I know,
We don't
you
want to
never.
double dip, we don't want to overpay, and we don't want to be left exposed.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
and High Tech offers us some insurances?
not insurances, but the fact that we have like the dual login
The top of the line,
and the
diamond package.
Right.
site.
And they do upgrades every so often.
Yeah. So there's extra protection in the email, so we're not clicking on.
Sometimes they
stuff.
put your emails in a different thing, it
Yeah.
says we're,
Yeah.
to check, make sure it's a
Yeah,
good
right.
email.
Yeah, so the fact that they have that stuff is extra protection that we
We have
didn't
the
have
cloud
before
now.
with the previous,
Right.
when we got hacked.
Thank you.
Yeah, we don't want to repeat that.
We did not have a cloud.
Yeah, I know things, everything's been going up, but, we have to mind our cost. But yet, we gotta protect ourselves. I don't want to go through what we went through 2 years ago, that was just horrible, so.
I'll talk to Jay, I'll call him.
Okay. All right, we have a motion in support. Okay, roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Yes.
Kazinsky, yes.
Stephen Chess.
Stover, yes.
Okay, motion carries. Okay, summer tax collection agreement.
As you know, our offices collect for the school districts 100%, except for Anchor Bay. We collect 50% of their tax rate, and then the other 50% in the wintertime. The deal is, and always has been, that it's my fiduciary responsibility, my office's responsibility, to get the tax bills out by July the 1st. Up until a couple of years ago, well, that it hasn't been too much of a problem. We're always scrambling at the end, and that is because we have to wait for the school districts, the MISD and RISA, to give us their millage rates. The treasurers got together and talked to the county and said, we've had it with these dates. They are supposed to give us their millage rates by the 15th of June so that we can create our tax roll. A couple of the school districts and the county were waiting until the 20th and the 25th of the month, which gives me 3 days with 2 people to get the tax bills not only out to the taxpayers, but separated for the mortgage companies. That simply is not enough time. I have thought of calling them, which I have, saying, get me those numbers as quickly as you can. I have never thought of telling them that if you don't, this is what's going to happen. Apparently, somebody has thought of that. And so, what I'm asking tonight is that when I send the letter, which I always respond to the districts, the MISD and RISA, which I'm also asking you to approve of that tax collection for the summer, that when they send me in next November, they will send me the letter that says, will you please collect 100% for us or 50% for Anchor Bay, whatever it is. They send me that letter. I want to be able to say, as I always do, we would be delighted to collect and disperse your taxes. However, you are responsible for getting me those millage rates by the 15th of June, and if you do not, we are going to charge you a $50 fee. And if the tax bills have to be reprinted because you sent me an incorrect millage rate at the last minute, you're paying for the reprinting of those tax bills. And that's what I want your permission for tonight.
So you're gonna do a letter, or you're gonna do something just like this?
Yes, I'm going to have this letter, which was created by Ms. Gleason at East China Schools, and I'm going to send it out every tax season to them as a caveat to say, you give me the numbers or you pay the bill. And never done that before. I hope never to have to do it, but we will, if you approve.
Okay.
I make a motion that we approve to collect whatever the 100%.
100%, I'm saying 100% for East China, Richmond, RISA, MISD, which is Macomb, and 50% for Anchor Bay.
Your support?
I'll support.
Okay.
I'm not done with my motion. She's right. RESA?
RISA, RESA.
So it's East China, Richmond, MISD,
And
and
RISA
RISA
are
are
100%.
100%.
And then I also would like to add to that, to have an agreement that the treasurer will come up with for them to sign.
That millage rates will be directed to our offices no later than June 15th of the taxing year.
I'll support that.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion support to give the authority to the treasurer to send out those notifications. All in favor?
I think we should do a roll call.
Roll call.
It's money.
Okay. Roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Dan, yes.
Kaczynski, yes.
Stephen Chess. Okay, motion carries. All right, the next one, we have the summer tax payment for the Bozeman Road property. This is something we have every year for the,
Colleen, do you know how much this went up for last year? Just like a,
I was, let me look at your. I was
would say $45.
Okay. Do we need to adjust our agreement at all? The
I'm
farmer's
saying,
agreement?
this bill is not due until September the 15th.
Right.
I'm not paying it, or September the 14th.
So do you want to,
I'm not paying it until September the 14th.
so why don't we just put it on?
16.
Huh?
You got another day, 16.
Oh, yeah, but I'm not telling you that, am I? No.
It's not on. So what if we approve it, so we don't have to
Yeah.
move it to the next one, but just approve it for
Sure.
you to pay
Just say
in
that the
September?
tax bill will be paid in a timely fashion.
All right, I'm gonna make a motion that we approve the tax bill to be paid by September 15th,
14th.
14th. I'll make sure I get payables done on the 14th.
Yes.
I'll support.
Okay, we have motion support to pay the tax on the Meisner Road property. Okay, roll call vote?
Anderson, yes.
Yes.
Kazinsky, yes.
Stevens, yes.
Stover, yes.
Do we need to, you need to look at the agreement for the,
Yeah, we usually send it in December, the agreement.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, it went up last year. We had that adjusted.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll look into it. Okay, next one, appointments to the Construction Board of Appeals. I'd like to appoint Rick Henninger, Jonathan Yake, and Alex Bailoff to a 2-year term to the Casco Construction Board of Appeals starting July 10th, 2024 and ending June 30th, 2026.
I'll make a motion to approve those appointments to the Township Construction Board of Appeals.
I'll support.
Okay, we have a motion support. We've never used them, but we need them just in case anyone ever appeals a decision about one of our billing officials or the state building code. Okay. Okay, we have a motion support. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Ellie?
Yes.
Okay, the motion carries. All right, we have revoked bond permit number 22-0061. Okay.
Do we need to know anything about this program?
Okay.
The bond revoke?
This is pretty much exactly the same scenario that you approved last month.
Okay.
Second permit, within 6-month period, no communication whatsoever, no inspections called for. It's the same thing, just different.
I make a motion to revoke bond number 23-0061.
Do you have support?
Support.
Motion support to revoke permit number 22-0061. Roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Yes.
Kazinsky, yes.
Stevens, yes.
Stover, yes.
Motion carries. Okay, we have a bond revoke for permit number 22-0036. Same thing, Brenda?
This is a cellular tower upgrade.
Okay,
As with many,
yeah.
they pull the permit, the people from Oklahoma, Texas, wherever come do the work, they leave, and there's no communication whatsoever.
If I do that in every community, they go on top. Yeah.
Well, I make a motion to revoke bond number 22-0036.
Okay, we have a motion. Any support?
Support.
We have motion support to revoke bond permit number 22-0036. Roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Yes.
Oh, Kazinsky, yes.
Stevens, yes.
Stover, yes.
Okay, motion carries. Okay. Next one is waive fee request on fire run number IRA 24-028. Okay, to whom may concern, I, Linda Wesley, the lift assist on May 30th, 2024. As we were so blessed for your help, we'd like to take a moment to thank you for the help. I am right to see if you could waive the fee. I only get SSI and I don't have any extra money to pay my invoice to the lift assist. I was wondering if there's any way to waive this fee. I would so much appreciate it. Thank you, Linda West.
This, we had a matter, what, 2 2 months ago, 3 months ago, that came before us to waive it, and we denied it, so there's a lot more. I mean, we do payment plans. I'm only one person, I'm not making a decision.
$50, you do payment plans? I mean, you don't, really? Okay.
Yeah, there was a gentleman that paid us $2.50 twice a month for 10 months.
Really?
Yes.
Yes, there was.
Yes, there was.
Yes, there was.
But everybody on 94 should pay his bill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
okay.
But he paid it.
Yeah, and so if we've been doing that, yeah. So, I mean, does,
We can't waive the fee. We'll
We
see.
can't do it for one
See the
person and
bills.
not another.
yeah, okay.
It has to be
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Okay,
So we need to do a motion.
I think that's, we're gonna,
yeah.
Why do we need to do a motion?
because it's an action item.
Yeah.
Because it's
So
an
you need a
action
decision.
item.
All right.
So
Then I
we can
make a
tell
motion
that the
to
board,
deny.
okay, yeah. I'll support that.
Dawn, get the information to Ms. West saying, hey, we do have a payment plan. Oh, you, I'm
She
sure.
will.
Yeah.
You support it?
I am.
Okay, we have motion support to deny the fee request for fire run under IRA 24-128. Roll call vote.
I think we can just do
You
it.
could do it.
Just, yeah.
Oh, simple, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. Citizen comments. Oh, shoot. Oh.
I'm going to go back to the motion that was just made. I believe that Ms. West is on Social Security. I am on Social Security. I make less than
I believe
$2,000 a month.
the other month, they also were in the statement.
I don't think so, they were seniors.
Yeah.
They were seniors.
But she's on Social Security. And
Maybe that's all, it's not my decision,
That-
it's theirs,
I-
but you may call, medical insurance company, tell me I'm gonna pay for something either.
well, that's just compassion.
No, I.
That I know you have all
The way I see, it, we
experience.
can't
But
just,
I'm
pick and
instructing the
choose,
board.
there has to be like a uniform.
Yeah, and I do understand that. I do understand that. I do. But I just know that without my job, and I don't know, is the bill only 50? Well, if you did a coffee a week,
I could pay them.
but I just,
But and like I
Kinda
said,
touched
we
my
offer,
heart.
I know,
Yeah, I don't
I
like that. I
agree,
agree with that.
we don't like billing anybody, and we get calls all the time with,
I'll pay it.
this happened.
no, that wasn't my idea.
I get it, Brenda.
I used to do with fire runs, and I'm not criticizing at all.
I know.
I am not, and I don't want it to ever be taken that way. I don't. But we kind of took it on a case by case. And I understand. It was just, I just kind of put myself.
I'm sure it will be handled.
And, well, I know, there's no doubt in my mind that it won't be. You'll take $1 a month. That's all she can do.
Yeah.
I understand.
Absolutely.
So please don't take it as that.
No.
That's why I don't consider this
That's
It-
it. And I'm sorry.
Oh,
Don't be
that's
sorry.
okay. Yeah. All right, folks, any comments or?
I do have one.
Sure.
About our park. That is such an eyesore when you drive by there.
Yeah.
And I was with somebody from a different area the other day, and she said, "What is that piece of crap sitting there? It's such an eyesore." I said, "That's our park."
Well-
And I was embarrassed to say that.
the beginning.
Yeah.
But, and I says, it's in the works, but we need to do something more to make it more eye appealing
Yeah.
from the road, like mowing and
Well,
whatever.
yeah, well, I'll send somebody down there to do some weed trimming.
Yeah, it's,
The contractor is supposed to plant some grass, it's just been wet.
right.
And they're gonna be building the entrance into the park, the apron off Fredmore Highway. So, yeah, so it's work in progress. And we wish it would go faster.
Yeah, she says it's been a work in progress for years. I said, I know.
Is everybody, I mean, you were just out there last week.
Yeah,
How high are the weeds?
yeah, they're up near the.
Then the pavilion is supposed to be able to be utilized.
Oh, yeah.
So how many weeds do you have to wait to
Can't
get to the
can't
No.
pavilion?
use the pavilion as long as the barrels and the tape are in the way.
Yeah.
Well, then how can you say it's open?
No,
I didn't say it was.
Well, Joe did.
okay. I don't know who put the barrels there, but the park is open. You could drive into the park and go hiking on there, go up to the pavilion. There's no chairs or tables or that, but the pavilion's open. The walkways are in there.
Okay.
You'll see the gravel, the limestone driveway go into the park, and you have a park. You have 4 ADA compliant parking places. They haven't been taped off yet, painted, but you have beautiful sidewalks that go from each ADA compliant one to a hard stand that'll be for a future porta john. Then you'll have a hard stand for like a couple picnic tables up front. And then the walkway goes all the way, arches back up, goes up a hill to where the
What does
pavilion
it
is.
take to fix the appearance issue though? It
We
is a
need-
real appearance.
Yeah.
We need the weeds cut and we need flowers.
Let's get
Yeah,
that done.
exactly.
Let's just get
I have
that done.
irises.
I,
Irises are dead.
Just get
That would be
done.
beautiful.
Yes.
I will get someone down
Hey,
there
but
to.
there's great sales at Gardens.
Excuse me, can I make a comment real quick? If this park is open, should the grass not be cut on a regular basis? And if that's the case,
Do we have grass?
it's
Yeah.
just,
No.
whatever, it needs to be kept up. If
Yeah.
you're gonna have people there and you're saying it's open, then it needs to be kept up on a
Right.
regular basis, not just once.
The weeds there between the road and the park lot, yeah, need to be trimmed down. There's no permanent grass yet. Yeah.
But if you trim those weeds, if you weed
It'll
them
look a lot more eye appealing.
in a month, those weeds will be back.
And we'll plant your
And
irises.
Well, I'm just saying, they'll be back
There's
to the same
tables
place, so
available.
it needs to
If
be
your
up.
committee comes
At least
and gets some tables, they can set them up in the park.
What did you
So-
say?
I said, all of the tables are sitting in my barn waiting for the
Benches.
commission to come and put them together and put them out there.
We just gotta figure out a way to how to secure them, because if they're not secure, they disappear.
Well, maybe instead of talking about playground equipment first, you should be talking about whether
They have it.
those benches out.
They have them.
So are the barrels still in there? Up there?
Yes,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
But you
that
can
tells
get
me-
around them.
Well,
I've been there.
yes, but
Yeah.
it's not supposed
with
to
the
be an
tape around it,
obstacle
it looks
course.
like you're not supposed to get
This
around.
is true.
Yeah.
Do we have insurance on that part?
Yes, we do have insurance in the park.
Where in
I'm thinking
this does it say we have insurance?
I think Mr. Ward must have put those barrels up.
Well, I'm
I
sure
mean,
he
they
did.
didn't just appear.
No, I'm
And
sure
the
he
county
did.
wouldn't do it.
No, the county wouldn't do it.
Gotta be Mr. Ward, I
Yeah, they're his barrels, I would think. The county wouldn't go in there and do that.
No.
It's gotta be Mr. Ward.
Yeah,
Why
it's
did
Ward.
he take it away?
I don't know. I don't know. We'll-
Okay,
we'll
but
ask him that
I'll get
when we
the
send him
weed
his
control
check.
there.
Don't send him a check till he opens the park.
Yeah, well, that, yeah, there you go. There you go.
I like
Where,
that.
where,
Take your
where does
barrels.
it say we have insurance on the park?
Let me take a look at
You don't have it in your packet?
No. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, because that's something, if you're gonna have people out in the park, there should be liability insurance.
Yes, absolutely.
And there should have been liability insurance on it since it
Because
started.
Steve, I always ask you, what's the progress on the park?
That lovely little dog could go play hide and seek in that park, couldn't he?
Yeah.
See how long it takes to fish.
Louise, I'm afraid
something
what
out
would
of the
jump
river.
out at me though. I see a snake, you'll never see me again.
Oh, don't talk about snakes or cat. Oh,
Never see me
It's a
there.
cemetery. National coverage.
I guess you just need to make sure that's in there.
Yeah.
It's not that, it doesn't.
I just, this whole part, I mean, isn't this supposed to be on the agenda for grass cutting?
That's why I said it needs to be,
As long
as you take it out of Parks and Rec and not general fund.
And it can't go.
But then you
through
have to
general
know,
fund.
it has to come out of
go-
Parks and Rec.
But it needs to be approved. If it's something that's on a regular basis, and you have a contract with like D&E or whatever, it needs to be approved by the board. You can't just say, oh, go cut the grass.
No, I was gonna just get a volunteer to go down there.
But again, you gotta make sure you have insurance, you have a volunteer
Yes.
to
Yeah.
work themselves or something.
Okay,
I mean, at least with the grass cutting company, they're insured themselves, if they,
Right.
or they're, you know, this is true.
I will call them to ensure that first thing tomorrow morning.
Okay. And I've driven by there, the barrels are still, like, they
I was just there this afternoon.
Yeah. I thought it was closed.
No, I thought it was closed too.
Because of the barrels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
I wouldn't
tape.
have driven around.
Yeah, it
it.
says
They-
caution. Yeah.
Let me,
I did.
I wouldn't drive in there. It doesn't look like you can.
Go ahead, yeah.
yeah, I'll find out about the barrels.
They're there.
Yeah, they were there the other day.
But they have to belong to Mr.
Kind of a
Ward.
bulletin that
There's
tells
nobody
people
else who would put
of
them there.
operation, if you're up here after certain hours, you're at your own risk type thing.
Well, every park has those kind of
There's a thing, when
signs.
you
But
come
we
in,
don't
you
have
should
one
have
yet.
those signs.
No, the Parks Committee developed, the center rules that they're working
But
on.
there should be something there.
If you're letting
It's
people
open.
on there, there should be signs.
Rules as you go
That should be
in.
like,
You know, like do you
Like
But
after
what
hours.
does the
Allowed.
park committee do? I mean, wouldn't you think they'd be like, hey, we need to do something? What does our park committee do?
That's a good thing you brought that up.
Yeah, you know,
Free phone?
if you're elected to that position, they should be doing something.
Well, yeah, the park committee are
Just,
looking into.
just saying.
Yeah.
which.
Well, let's look into
we
the grass
can't-
cutting
we
before
can't
we
do
look
anything
into
with
the
playground
playground.
right now anyway, that's why I don't
Well,
understand why.
that's held off until next year,
What's
the
that?
playground equipment.
Because you were looking
Because of
at
the
a
money.
grant for that.
Yeah,
Right.
they're looking, what it is, the Parks Committee is looking at playground designs. So there's several options they could do. They could do a standalone or do one that's in phases. And then with that, whatever they choose, they design something in the fall, and in the late winter, that's when we apply for a grant.
Okay, so they're not, the park committee don't do anything until this is approved?
No, they meet on other stuff. We just stood this up this past year.
Right.
We have to
Yeah.
remember too, it's an advisory committee.
What is the
Yeah.
status of Ward's
Yeah,
work on
that's
that?
But yeah,
Okay.
I
What
know,
is the
the
status
playground
of Ward's
equipment
work on
is-
it?
All
We
right.
just cut a check for
Yeah.
$35,000 to Mr. Ward for the completion of what he has done.
Yeah.
So,
What is the completion of it?
Yeah, well, what they have to do yet, they have to put the apron in off Fredmore Highway. They gotta get that done. And then they gotta groom the ground and plant the grass. Them are two of the big.
And when is he gonna be finished with that?
He wants to finish it up by the end of the summer.
Why does it take so long?
Because
I
there
mean,
was,
it's just
there was,
doing something. Get started.
okay, there was problem.
There's
They
something
don't
on it that's
they
here.
don't want it.
Way.
Yeah. There was problems with the design on the entrance. Pam and her team worked on the one, they just got it up. In fact, I just saw her email. She had sent it up to the road commission. I gotta confirm with them tomorrow.
So in other words, the road commission gets approved the changes, and then board gets in there and finishes it. It's gonna take the end of the summer to do that?
I'll talk to Tim, but he'd like to finish it. Okay.
Yeah. Who is the point person with board? Who's the project manager?
His
with
name
Ward?
is Joe Carnegie.
Okay, we haven't, in other words, he's the one who's gonna talk to board.
he's Ward's project manager.
Okay. Did we get that done?
Is that why we don't want to
before the
have
summer?
Yes.
Words for Ward.
Yeah.
Mr. Carnegie works for Ward. Joe is our person.
So,
Well, I'm thinking, if Mr. Ward is not done with the approach, and he's gonna be pouring any kind of
concrete, cement.
We're gonna let people drive in to the park.
It's gonna
The
be,
park is open,
well,
and then it's closed
Yeah.
because of that.
Well, they'll, when they do work on the approaches, they'll have to block it off for that. But when we got the grant, when we when we got it open in 2019, the trust fund grant to purchase part, one of the things is we had to open the property to the residents.
Well, you have to open it to the residents, but if it's under construction, it's
Well,
under construction.
if when it's under construction, the places that are being under construction are off limits. But that last,
So when they're driving, if it's the approach, the apron from when they come in, how are they gonna get in? So it's gonna be closed.
well, yeah.
I get what Brenda's saying. She's like, you're gonna open it and then close it and then open it and then close it. You
It's
know?
gonna confuse people.
Right. Someone's gonna go and it's
But
gonna be
that work-
closed and they're gonna be
Yeah,
upset.
but that work will only take a couple days at most to get the approach.
I still.
It should have already, are we still in phase one?
Yeah, phase one and
Because
two.
the pavilion's been done for, what's his lag time?
Okay.
What's his issue here
What-
that he can't get it
The
done?
thing is, the big thing that held up the approach was the design. The design was for a light duty parking lot. Now when they had the two, because of the size of the parking lot, it upgraded to a medium usage.
And how much is that increased in cost and who pays for that?
Well, we'll have to pay for it.
And how much is, I mean, was that brought to us? I mean.
Not yet, but it will.
When you contact Steve about finding out about the coverage, if it's in there, it needs to be separated because Vicki brought up a good point. That needs to be paid by Parks and Rec Fund, not general. And if it's not in there, then we need to have coverage on it, which would need to come in front of the board if it's additional.
We had Mr. Hazelton right here. His phone was right here.
Well, I told him about it today. I went to the meeting this morning, and I did tell him about it. And they couldn't go in.
and what did he say?
Nothing. It was just a comment. He asked everybody out of different townships for comments, and that was what I.
Did you give a time reference?
No, that wouldn't be up to him.
So what is the time frame now on this extra cost of the approach? Who's giving us that
We don't know
dollar?
the time, and we don't know them to come out.
There was a thing where they just got the new design into the road commission.
They
No.
mean Mr. Ward.
No, Pam,
Oh, Pam Blount.
Yeah.
Okay.
and that now, once that new design's in, then Ward Construction could apply for the permits on that. And with the design, then I could get the cost for that.
This kind of sounds like cart before the horse.
Yep.
You're gonna get a bill for something that we've committed to that you have no knowledge of.
That was tried to.
But it's coming out of Parks and Rec.
You bet it is.
Yeah, it's like coming out of general.
Okay. Might help.
And those are finite funds.
And that,
When they're done, they're done.
yeah.
This is not money that comes out of the general fund.
Oh,
So it's,
Does insuring the park actually come out of the Parks and Rec Fund, or is that something?
It will come out,
No,
it
that's-
comes out of the Parks
Yeah,
and
that's-
Rec Fund just as if there were a tax bill
Uh-huh.
for that park, that would come out of Parks and Rec Fund. It's not, that has always been the fear of Parks and Rec people, that the millage would go away and then this would fall to the general fund to keep up, which is,
It's like
But
a separate
insuring
it is
the
a
park,
separate.
but insuring liability for the park definitely comes out of the Park and Rec Fund.
Yes, it does. Yes,
Colleen,
it does.
do we get like a yearly passport for the parks and recs, or something we're gonna get every year to maintain it?
no.
I everything. that he
Yeah,
has
about $17,000 a year. That's
Which isn't
the-
a lot.
from the
just-
millage.
Yeah.
That's gonna maintain it.
That's going to maintain it. And that's why you better hope people vote for the Parks and Rec millage, just like you better hope people vote for the county road millage and the county drug millage. Those are all dependent on taxpayer approval and taxpayer funds. As I say, look what happened this year on your tax bill when the veterans didn't get their paperwork in on time. You didn't pay a veterans. The veterans lost thousands of dollars, and I'm not sure how it's being recouped. I'm sure that it is. I'm sure that the state realizes that this was, somebody dropped the ball here, but that's a pretty big ball to drop. But if the people in St. Clair County decide that they're tired of taxes this and taxes that, and they say, well, you know, I'm not supporting the library fund, and I'm not supporting Parks and Rec, and I'm not supporting the drug task millage, they go away. And then your county has to dip into its general fund if it wants to keep the parks going. There's
a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a beautiful, beautiful parks. I mean, look at all the waterfront parks, Lakeside Park and Lake Huron, and gorgeous.
Although, when
Stretching all the way up to the Upper Peninsula.
the
Those are,
history of that millage, though, it's more support is every 4 years it's grown in support for the Parks and Rec.
but that is what maintains our park. Anything over and above that, you better be looking for grants.
Right. Yeah.
How much do we have in the Parks and Rec?
Right about now, we have about $298,000.
And that's a accumulation of the $17,000 a year you've been collecting for how long?
Oh, Lord, for 20 years. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And developing a park is a long-term proposition. It's not something that's going to go up fast. I mean, we all like things to go up fast, but
Yeah, but we should at least maintain a minimum presence. A minimum presence.
okay. Does anyone else have any?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Can you imagine that? So, first, I'm gonna put you on the spot, Connie. Can you explain to our residents and our viewing audience about the renewal millage that we have on the ballot? Because I don't know if people understand that it's a renewal.
Well, the renewal millage simply, and it's less than, it's 1 mil, okay? And we avoided the Headley rollback by asking at the time of year that we're asking. And that's all state jargon. But we get 1 mil on your taxable value of your home, so whatever your taxable value is on your home, 1 mil. And that's not a whole lot of money. But that funds our road projects, which is about $198,000 a year. That's what we use for gravel and chloride and some of our ditching projects and things like that. We do rely on match projects from the county. They're very good about that sort of thing. But this is the minimum maintenance of our road program. And our road program, basically we've gone, and this was years and years ago, we've gone to east-west, north-south roads, which generally get 500 ton of gravel per mile per season, and grading at, I don't want to say at the mercy of the road commission, but they really do try to keep up. And they hit the major, they'll hit Meldrum Road probably more often than they hit Puttigat Road. They pay attention to what's happening, and of course they get phone calls from everybody. So call the road commission, tell them you need grading on your road. You might not get any more gravel, but grading helps. But that is what that it's a basic 1 mil. We don't ask her, some townships get 2 and 3 mils. That would be maybe in the distant future. But take your taxable value, put 1 mil, and you'll see it right on your tax bill this year. See if your $35 a year is worth it in gravel.
And it's a renewal. I mean,
It's-
we're collecting
yeah.
it now, so it's just a renewal.
Yeah, it's a renewal, it's not, no, and we haven't asked for upping it, not at all. This is maintaining it. And that's what you have to watch for on your voting, and I'll throw that right back in your court, in that read your tax proposals. Because some will say this is just a renewal of what's already here. So if you want to keep your drug task force, if you want to keep your library open, if you want to keep your parks and rec, and you're content with it, or you think society is benefiting by this, then by all means, vote for those millages. But watch, because they have to tell you if this is upping.
It'll say new.
It will say new or additional. So look what you paid last year. Your taxable value is going up 5% from the state, no matter what you do. That's just the state multiplier. Well, used to be 3%. Now I'm looking at more like 5. But it's the millages that determine how much you pay in taxes. You pay the county and your school districts far more than you pay the township in road or operating. You can't live anywhere cheaper than you can live here, and the value is up to you, whether you think your school district is worth it or whatever. We have 3 school districts here. But those millage rates that come out, and your summer tax bill is the bigger one. If you look at all of your millage rates, look at schools and ISDs and count. That's the big dollar things. That's what you're paying for. Township operating and township roads, not so much. Not so much. And as Dan said earlier today, and the girls have noticed going back and forth, there's a big difference between the rural roads in Macomb County and St. Clair County. We put gravel and money into our roads.
Well, even like from Columbus to Casco,
Yeah.
somebody today was saying you can tell the difference.
And I think that a lot of that is because we have always had a superb partnership with whoever our crew chief was in Casco Township. You call them, they're here. They really are. And I've never had a supervisor dating back to Karen Holt that didn't have the road commission on speed dial. And they answer the call, they do, they're good people. But nothing comes from nothing. And so your 1 mil will get your road hopefully gravel, and if not, call the road commission. Because we're giving them the money.
I have more, sorry. Our website is getting there. This is a mock of what it may look like. So if you want to pass it along there. I do have just a little blurb, a couple blurbs. One, there are, I think, 4 different Senate bills right now that are before the Senate regarding voting. And this is from the MTA. The MTA opposes it. They are going to include provisions that are beyond the federal requirements that could place an increased strain on local election officials, as well as increased liability and expenses for local units of government. It's Senate Bill 401, 402, 403, and 404. So if you want to look those up and read them, and call your local senators, representatives, and tell them that we need to keep the election stuff local so we can decide how to do stuff and not have it at a statewide level, because I think that's where they're trying to take it.
I think so.
I think they're trying to take everything away from us so that they can say, one of them tells us if we can consolidate precincts, where we can put drop boxes, where we can have polling places and early voting sites, and basically just how we district. And that should be a local decision, not a state or county. Senate Bill 401, 402, 403, and 404. That's Michigan Senate. Next, sorry.
Call your local representatives.
Yes.
Whose signs are peppered all over the township. Just take down those names and call them. They're already seated.
Yep. A little blurb on early voting. Our early voting starts July 27th, which is what, 2 Saturdays? 2 Saturdays from now, from 8 to 4. It goes through Sunday, August 4th. There is no voting on Monday, August 5th, which is the day before the election. A lot of people think because of early voting, it's every day up until the election. There is no voting on the Monday before the election. Don't ask me why. That's just how they did it. Election day is August 6th. We will be here from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. We have absentee ballots are available right now. We have a drop box. You can drop them. We have a drop box located on the building. You can walk them in. You can mail them in. So get out there and vote. One more thing, Joe. I had a note on here from May. You were supposed to talk to John Sarcone about lights. Lights on his property. They were bright. I'm
Right.
just following up to make sure
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you either have done it or that you
Yeah.
will do it.
I talked to him about it, they said we were going to reposition it.
Did he do that?
I don't know, I'll follow up with
Please do. That's all I got.
him. Okay, anything else?
Don't forget your election commission meeting after.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
It'll be quick.
Yeah, that's
It's just
right.
appointing our election inspectors.
Okay, we're up to adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Go to court.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.